What's up, guys? Nate Forrest here with the Forrest Fire Marketing Group and nateforrest.net. Just wanted to take a little walk with you guys and share with you a couple of tips for the day, for the week. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you something specific, something simple, but something specific that you can focus on in your home or network marketing business. But as I'm walking down here, I just noticed in my desk, my drawer, let me share a quick story with you. I just noticed this yellow card here. Now what can this do to help you in your network marketing business? This is called the Varsity Vision. 2 demos per hour, 20 demos per day. This is what you call a demo gold card. This is from my very first summer, 1993, almost 17, 18 years ago, where for 5 summers sold books door to door. 4 summers in college, took a summer off a year after college, and then went back as a recruiter. And I went back and built a team and did it for 1 more summer. So for 5 summers in college, I sold books door to door, children's books, children's Bibles, educational books, health study guides, things like that. And what this demo gold card did was it helped each of us as we went through the day, knocking on doors, connecting with people, saying hello, can we come in? I'm the guy seeing all the folks with kids in school. This helped us keep track of how many people we were seeing at the door. We have a line if somebody came to the door, have a star, a little asterisk if I did a demo, if I showed them the books, and I circled it if I made a sale. So our goal at the end of each day was 20 demos. So we kept up with the demo gold card. If we could do 20 demonstrations a day that we were taught, we would sell on average 3, we would have on average 3 customers. And of course, as each summer went on and we got better and better and connecting and building communication skills, sometimes we were able to have 5 to 10 sales out of 20. Now, as I'm looking at this card, this is my very first week in the business, and it's funny that this is the one that I still have. And I don't know where all my other demo gold cards are. Actually, some of them were white, but they were all called demo gold cards. And at the very bottom it says, "Don't let anybody steal your dream." So that way you could be reminded of that during the day as you were going from door to door. Because as you can imagine, being a college kid, it's kind of brutal knocking on doors. But it was a lot of fun once you really got used to it, except for those days where you just, everybody slamming the door in your face. Those days where you really, things really weren't happening. But I wanted to share a couple of funny stories with you about this, and then share with you a tip that's going to help you in your business and tie all of this into network marketing. And a couple of funny stories were one summer in Ohio, I sold to a lot of Amish people, and I had avoided them in previous summers anytime I saw an Amish house. But this summer, or maybe earlier that summer, seeing Amish families, I didn't think that they were going to buy books. They had no electricity, so why would they buy books? So I knock on a house one night, and ends up being an Amish family. They come to the door, so I'm like, I'm Nathan. I'm seeing all the folks that have kids in school. I know you guys probably homeschool. Well, anyway, she invited me in, and they proceeded to buy about 3 or 4 books, children's books. I think they bought a Bible. We sold Bibles. And to make a long story short, the rest of the night, I went from, they were the Masts, M-A-S-T, and the Hostettlers. I remember I went the rest of that night, and I sold to about 8 families where all these Mast brothers had married about 7 or 8 Hostetler sisters. It's the funniest thing ever. I remember at the end of the night, I'm inside at the kitchen table of, I believe it was the head grandfather, Father Mast, and they had the head of the whole family or whatever. And I remember sitting at their kitchen table and selling him an open study Bible, which is what we sold back in those days. Thomas Nelson Company's largest Bible and Bible seller. And I remember sitting there, and I never forget his wife, 65, 7-year-old woman, bringing in the candle, not the candle, but what do you call the oil lamp. Bringing in the oil lamp so I could sit there and show them this Bible, and they were my last sale of the night. And I can't remember how well my day had gone that day, but it seems like I had had a bad day, and then I ran across what I thought was a family or a group of people, because I judged that these Amish people weren't gonna buy anything. Hey, hello, hey, how's it going? Yep, doing a video. Have a good day. Gotta love dogs. But I had judged what I thought were a group of people who weren't going to buy my products. When I accidentally knocked on their door, it led to it might have been one of my most successful evenings ever. I think I ended up selling about 15 or 16 books that night. And we earned anywhere from $20 to $30 per book, so you can add that up. But ended up being one of my most successful nights. So I spent the next 2 or 3 weeks going from Amish family to Amish family, because they all knew each other. Hey, you need to go check out the Yoders and the Mass and the Hostetlers. And we would do demonstrations out. A friend of mine came up and we went and met all these Amish people. And one evening a group of kids goes by in their buggy, and there's kids walking by, and we're like, what are they up to? And the guy said, well, they're going to a youth trip. They're going on a youth church trip. They're going to help the such and such family hoe a garden. Like, man, that's pretty interesting. Going to hoe a garden is part of the youth trip. So, a little bit into the Amish community, but got to meet a lot of really cool Amish people up there in Ohio. But I said all that to kind of let you know that you don't judge anybody. Just expose your business to them. You never know what they want in their life, what's going on, what their needs are. They can have many different reasons for wanting to look at your business. So make sure you're sharing it with pretty much everybody. And with that said, I'll end with this. And I was going to share you a story on the bad end of knocking on doors selling books. So I'll do that real quick. A couple of different times in West Virginia. I sold it in West Virginia 3 summers out of the 5 summers that I sold books. A couple of different times had people pull guns out. One time I remember had an appointment to come back that evening and see a lady that I'd seen that day, and she said maybe it'd be better to come back when her husband was there. And so when I came back that night, the husband was on the front porch. As I walked up, I saw that he had a gun, you know, a little sawed-off shotgun in his hand. He kind of just picked it up and he said, boy, you see that black top up there? He said, if I was you, I'd be, you know, I'd get to that black top as quick as you can. So I pick up his gun, put it down. So I was like, have a nice day. Back and got back into my little red Eclipse, and I was hitting that black top pretty quick. And another time, I sold a family 3 books, and this guy was drinking the whole time I was doing the presentation, and he found out that I sold a book to a lady down the street. Because I'd only sold her 1 book, it was obviously a lot cheaper. You know, 1 book about $65, 3 books, you know, $200 something. So he thought I had ripped him off. So I'm down the street showing the books to his cousin or sister or somebody. Well, next thing I see his Mustang flying by, and then he comes back, he comes in with his gun. I'm thinking I'm about to be buried in the backwoods of West Virginia. He puts his gun on the kitchen table and says, boy, you better start explaining. I got ripped off. I got charged $200. So and then he couldn't find his books. That's a long story. He couldn't find his books. The kids had hid them in the bookshelf. He couldn't find them. So what ended up happening is I'm sitting there thinking I'm about to get ripped off, and I'm just going to have to give these people their money back, and they're just going to steal the books from me. But they ended up finding the books. Kids found them. No harm's done. The gun never went off. I never got shot. And now here I am sharing a video with you instead of buried in the backwoods of West Virginia one day. But anyway, I don't know if these stories are entertaining or whatever, but knocking on books, knocking on doors, selling books in college, very interesting experience. But the demo gold card, 20 demos a day was what we were taught to do. This first week, I think I did 15, 12, 10, 14, 14, and 13. It wasn't super easy. Second and third summers, I got it to where I could do 17, sometimes 21, 22 demonstrations in a day. But the goal was 20, and we were taught at the beginning of the summer, 17 people out of 20 are gonna be, nope, not interested, get out of here, don't have the money, gotta talk to my wife first. People are gonna come up with excuses, but if you keep knocking on doors, you're gonna find 3 out of 20 that are always gonna say, Nathan, I like these books, I think we'll take 2. Nathan, I like these books, I think these will really help our kid out. Nathan, sign me up, I'd like a book. 3 out of 20, and we were shown that if we could just do 3 out of 20, and a couple of them bought 2 books, you know, that we, at the end of the summer, we'd be able to get a check for about, I think it was $6,000 or $7,000, if we could just average 3 customers out of 20, for a college kid, a check for $6,000 or $7,000 at the end of the summer was pretty good. So that's what I want you to focus on. That's my tip. End of the video is, guys, I want you to write down on a piece of paper a 3 and a 17. Most people are so focused on the 17 out of 20 that have every excuse from the book for not doing anything. They might not have the money, they might not have the time, they think it's a pyramid scam, they think this. They ask you question after question after question. Well, guys, stay focused on the 3 out of 20. As your skill sets improve, you'll be able to close 4 out of 20. You'll be able to work with 5 out of 20, maybe 6 out of 20. But if you just talk to 20 people as fast as you can, 2 or 3 out of 20, maybe 4 or 5 are gonna work with you. They're gonna lock arms with you. Now, in order to do that, you might have to talk to 80 people before you really start seeing those numbers, but so what? I promise you, 3 out of 20. Stay focused on 3 out of 20 that believe it, that see the vision. 3 out of 20 will run with you. Stop focusing on the 17 out of the 20 that don't get it. That's why a lot of people quit network marketing, is because they talk to 15 or 16 people. One person gets in the business, everybody else says no. That one person ends up quitting, and they never talk to another 20 people. Well, guys, 3 out of 20. Stay focused on 3 out of 20 that believe in it. Okay? 17 out of 20, so what? Move on. Some will, some won't, so what? So, just wanted to share with you a story, my experience, demo gold card. Get out there, talk to 20 people this week. If you can do it each day, that's even better. But I've been trying to talk to 60 to 80 new people each week. It's been the numbers have been working out really well, handing out tools. So with that said, guys, this might be a little bit too long. Might have to go back and do some editing, but make sure you keep coming back to mlmblogtv.com and check out, see what the Forrest Marketing Group is up to. We're showing people how to generate free leads and how to finally get their business, their pipeline up and going, so that they can build a successful network marketing business. So with that said, guys, stay focused on the 3 out of 20. Get your mind off the 17. Till the next video, God bless.